Previously on Redbeard's Garage. On the last episode, we got a 1990s monster truck go-kart from Carter Brothers, and we quickly stripped it down and started to modify for a new engine, new steering, and basically a complete Resto-Mod on this chassis. So now that we're all caught up, let's get right back into this build to finish it up to get it ready for powder coat. Alright, so what I did with the brake is I just put two stubs. I bored these out on the lathe to 5/16, and they have the bolts in them and whatnot. Now these will land, come on baby, on the axle flange thingy boy, and I can just weld them on. It clears, I'm talking by fuzz. The caliper body is pretty tight, so I'm gonna tack this on. All right, let's test it. Good. Now spins. Good. Spin. Got a little burr on there, but all right. She is good. Now I can fully weld those bars when I weld everything else, and she will be locked in, baby. So I want to take a real quick second to shout out the sponsor of today's video, and that is EC Carburetors. We did the Wildcat 223 on this go-kart. We was going to go with their new 240, but this is for an 8-year-old, and there's plenty of growing room with the 223. You can make that thing really perform if they ever want to in the future, but this go-kart has plenty of power with this 223. If you're building a mini bike or go-kart engine, I highly recommend checking out EC Carburetors. They have a ton of custom-made parts. Their rods are forged. They have billet ratio rockers that are skinnier than the competition, so you're not going to have as much clearance problems when you go to install them, because a lot of people do have those problems. They try to look out for the customer. They're innovating. They're making stuff right here in the United States. They're actually not too far from us here in Tennessee. So if you want to support an American company and some great people in the performance world on these small block and big block engines, then support EC Carburetors. We've been working with them for over a year, did a bunch of dyno videos with them. They're an awesome company and awesome people at the end of the day. You can actually call, get them on the phone if you have a problem with any of their parts or questions before you buy. They try to help out the consumer as much as possible, and that's why we like working with them so much. So thank you so much, EC Carburetors, for sponsoring today's video. Like I said, we're doing their Super 30 pulley on that Wildcat 223. The Wildcat 223 is going to be pretty much stock other than a jetted up carb, open air filter, and exhaust, because again, I don't want to put too much power for this kit. I'm going to keep everything in the stock configuration. But this Wildcat will perform very well for what this go-kart is going to do. So can't wait to see the final product. So let's get back to this fabrication of this go-kart. Now we're going to build a quick battery box and hold down for this lithium motorcycle battery. We've used these on a ton of projects. They're the best bang for the buck because they have a ton of power and they last really well in weather situations. We will have to add a trickle charge system to this because the factory charging systems on these engines aren't enough to replenish the battery from a lot of accessories. So we will have to make sure to wire that in when this is all done. So let's get to work on building this box. Alrighty, so we got the wheels put on. This is what we went with. The center caps are not on them. We got to 3D print some caps because the center caps do say SS, and we're going to make it say Cat because this is going to be a full Caterpillar themed, kind of like the concept truck that's shown on screen. So we're going to do a real quick test drive since we got everything put on that really needs to be. We just need to make sure to test the chain setup to make sure we don't have any skipping of the teeth. And so now Lonnie's going to get on it, ride it around, see how it feels. Then we need to blow the whole thing apart. We basically got to take the seat, drop it off to get it upholstered, the body off the paint. We got to weld all the floor tabs in. We're going to mount the gas tank down here behind the seat, and it's going to have an aluminum fill neck that goes down from the body because we did install an actual fill neck. But everything's mounted on there. We got just no crusty filter slammed on the engine, and we are missing the pull start. For some reason, this side cover, the pull start does not want to catch this. There's two different link cups, starting cups. This is a shorter one, then there's a longer one. Well, for some reason with this side cover, it's like it needs an in-between one. I've never seen that before, but we'll figure that out once at powder coat. So we'll basically be stripping it down, fully welding everything, putting the floor tabs in, just getting everything that we have to do so this can go to powder coat. Everything you see here is going to get done in black, and then the body will be Caterpillar yellow, and it'll have some, you know, little accents on it. So let's go test drive this puppy. Oh yeah, she on the ground. It looks so, yeah, no suspension, baby. And seat cushion. Oh yeah, you're on metal, Joe. You're gonna have to just cruise. Belt's gonna squeak a little bit because we gotta get that longer belt. All right. Give her a little. Oh, I need to see. Steering's nice. It really ain't that bad. Look at that view. So with not having suspension, you bounce every time you bounce it hits the throttle. But this thing wasn't meant to be fast. We could gear it different. If we wanted it fast, we could do performance parts, but we did not want it to be fast because it's for a 10-year-old, 8 or 10, I'm forgetting now. But sounds like everything's working great. Our main reason for testing it, of course, before it goes to powder coat, we want to make sure chain alignment's awesome. It's not going to be overpowered for the kid. Lonnie looks so goofy on it. What does it feel like?
It's not that bad.
It's slow,
yeah,
which we knew, but does it feel geared right? Like it takes off good? Yeah, pop her nooch.
Yeah, it's not even that bouncy. The tires take up a lot of it.
Well, and they could be aired down too.
You slide side to side with no seat, but that's
yeah, they're building cushions and bolsters on the seat.
A few moments later.
All right, so we jumped ahead quite a bit because I've been super busy. We got to get this thing out of here and to powder coat. We're trying to find someone to do the gel coat on the body and then paint it, and we're not having much luck. We may end up wrapping the body, but this is the exhaust. You saw us getting the pieces ready, and this is what we came up with. Basically, I took the bumper off, did all this off camera because I had to get a lot of work done. And you can see I notched the bumper. I notched it with 4-inch. I had to hand notch that, and then I welded a piece of 4-inch exhaust tube in there. So this is all solid. And then we got these carbon fiber short mufflers off of Amazon. And my favorite thing about them, I don't know if you can see in there, but there's a catalytic converter inside there. And the reason I wanted to do that is this kid has a form of autism, and I didn't want it to be too loud because I know some autistic kids have problem with sounds. So I didn't want this thing screaming loud with like 2 RLVs on the back of this thing. So those cats should help to quieten it down some, I hope. But that looks sick, I think. It's got a little of adjustment. This muffler needs pulled out just a hair bit. There's no problem. I can do that. But I think it looks cool. We wanted to notch the bumpers kind of like a newer Dodge has. But this is my dilemma. I started coming up with the header, and we got this stainless piece and stuff made. But the problem is I was going to use this Flex stainless pipe off of Amazon. Got it in, and this stuff's garbage. It is not, like if you're using it just to run a generator or something, it's fine. But if you bend it too tight, it ends up cracking because this stuff is like ultra thin. And I'm worried to use this because if in the future he has a problem, then they're in Florida. I don't know how they get it fixed. But the dilemma is to tension the chain on this, you tighten up that nut, you loosen the nut underneath, you tighten that up, which rocks this whole system forward to get this super small chain tension, which it's really tightly tensioned right now. But the problem is what happens if the chain stretches in the future. This exhaust would have to move with the engine. So my thought was with that flex pipe was to come off this here and do like a S bend inside and then go up to this. So you could, as you tension the chain, it just bend that little area out. But that stuff's way too thin. I don't know if it would last long, and I don't want to give them something that's going to be a piece of crap, basically. So I'm trying to figure out. Another thing is this, goes up on an arch. So I thought about stepping this up to 1 1/4 and leaving that 1 inch and putting it on an angle. So the 1 1/4 slides over the 1 inch, and I could use exhaust clamps to clamp it down on there. So if you needed, you would loosen the 2 exhaust clamps on the tube sleeved over the lower exhaust. You would adjust this out and then retighten it. But I'd have to get the angle just right on the angle that this is going to work up on. So I'm having a dilemma with that. And the only thing we have to do before taking this apart or taking it to powder coat is weld the floor tabs in to bolt the new aluminum floor. Fully weld everything because everything's welded on the top side but not the bottom. And the gas tank is mounting right here because it does have an actual fuel neck that we installed in the body. Yeah, sorry I didn't film the stuff on the bumper. I'm telling you guys, I've got a lot of work to do, and I'm about to go out of town for a week while this is at powder coat for another work thing out of state. And yeah, so trying to get it all worked out. Got to figure this exhaust out. I think what I'm going to do is just finish mounting this up. I did do some muffler hangers off the bumper that hold this dead right here because I didn't want the exhaust going with the engine because then I couldn't have this gap the way I wanted it. So I don't know, and I can't ask like you guys, what would you do, because this video is going to be, by the time it comes out, it'll be done. So dilemmas. The seat is already upholstered. The upholsterer found an awesome dude here local. I'm going to be doing some business with him on my F100 build. He makes some sick F100 seats. I'm going to link his company down below. He's done a Alcantara leather with diamond stitching. The seat's going to be insane on this thing. So go-kart's going to be ridiculous. So I guess I'm going to mount the rest of this exhaust and then go ahead and strip it down because I'll finish the exhaust when it all gets back. I'll try to think of what I'm going to do. And this isn't final. This is all just tacked. This is welded on, but these are just tacked. So I don't know how I'm going to do this setup here. But it is a dilemma. That's why I hate this style engine cradle, you know, rocking like that. But oh well, we'll figure it out. All right, sorry for the last part of this video being rambling. Just had to go over some stuff that was getting done. Go-kart is gone. You can see the mess, all the parts blown out. We have the trailer over there with the Caterpillar yellow upper rails. That's a Vivore trailer you can get off Amazon, or I think Home Depot sells them. He ordered that off Home Depot, had it shipped here. We had those upper panels powder coated the Caterpillar yellow. Then we have to take those panels to the paint shop because we are getting it, the fiberglass all repaired. The fiberglass was in really bad shape. Even though it looked good, it had a ton of hairline fractures in it. So they had to take a lot of spots down to the glass and then build it back up, and they're going to gel coat it and paint it. So it's up there now. The seat is still at Upholster. The frame is at the powder coat shop. We have to order some odds and ends, like some bearings. We need to take the thing completely apart to find out what wheel bearings and stuff went on it. So we have all that on order. So yeah, we got to do some other stuff in the meantime. We're finishing up this stage 420 build that we did with NR Racing. So I'm going to do that in the meantime and get you guys some content while we're waiting on it to be painted. But this thing is going to be the craziest go-kart for a kid. The price on this thing is ridiculous. All this work. Stuff's expensive. Parts are crazy expensive to build something like this. And that's why we normally don't take on customer jobs, because a lot of people get shocked by the sticker price of what something like this would cost to achieve. And it's just so much shop time. You know, it's a lot of works. But this thing's going to be incredible. We did find out the right belt size, which was a 788. If you're using this little swing arm mount in the reverse gearbox, get a 788 belt. You can get it on Amazon for $21. I think it's $25 after shipping and tax. We'll buy a spare belt for him, have it in the go-kart. I want to give him some spare parts, like a spare cut of chain, just in case they needed it. And yeah, so we'll see you on the next one. Make sure to check out those links. It helps the video a ton. Thank you, EC, for sponsoring this video, and did the Wildcat engine and everything from EC, the 223s. They will be back in stock sometime. I just don't know when exactly they'll be back in stock. But check out the links in the video description. Thank all the people that made this happen, all the friends that helped out and stuff. We'll see you on the next one on this particular build, where we're final assembling and revealing the thing. So we love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. God bless.